Why don't I answer you on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter actually more recently? Well, it's not because I don't want to. Let me just get that across now. It is not that I don't want to talk to you, but there's a pattern of events that happen if I answer anyone across on social media. Some of you in the past may have managed to get hold of me and I may have replied to you. Now the reason I don't reply, I made this decision about, I'd say about 12 months ago, maybe a little less than 12 months ago. And I decided that I just wasn't gonna reply to most messages, because what happens is if I have, say, 30 or 40 messages across all the social media platforms, I have time to answer 40 messages. It will take a long time, but I have time to answer them 40 messages. And then what happens is I'll answer that message, and then the following day I'll get a reply to that, and then I'll answer that, and then maybe 10 minutes later I'll get a reply to that, etc. And like I said, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. If you look at my main channel and you look in the comments, I'm very active in the comment section on the main channel. And I'm quite a bit more active than a lot of other people with similar sort of size channels, not just in the RC niche, but just across the board. I think I'm quite active in the comment section compared to others. Now the problem is, if I answer everyone who sends me a message, I will not have any time to do anything else. And it's not because I've got hundreds of people messaging me all the time. It's because one question turns into another question, and then into another question, and then another question. If you think of it as if I owned a hobby shop, so this is my hobby shop. And anyone who's watching this video that owns a shop with like a counter kind of service, you'll probably relate to this. I own a hobby shop. Someone walks through the door and asks me a question. Say, what do you recommend for a 12-year-old boy who has his first RC car? I'll say, oh, I think this Tamiya is what I'd recommend. They'd look at it, they'd ask me some more questions about controllers and bits and pieces. They'd say, thanks for your help, walk out the shop without buying anything. The following day, the same person comes back in the shop and asks another question. I've had a look at the Tamiya and I'm not really too sure on that. Is there anything a little bit more, is there anything a bit faster, a bit better, that can jump better, etc.? So you pick another thing off the shelf and say, yeah, this is probably better, etc. Talk for half an hour. They say, thanks very much. Then they leave the shop without buying anything. And then they come back the next day. I want something smaller. And then they come back the next day. And then the next day. And then the next day. And then the next day. I think you get the idea. I don't want this to come across sounding like I'm better than anyone else and I shouldn't have to answer you. It's not about that. It's the fact I don't have time to have conversations with 30, 40, 50 people. And what happens is I'll answer the initial question and then I get another one and I'll answer that. And then I get another one. By that time I've moved on and I'm answering another question or I'm doing something else. So what happens is that question then just sits and I don't respond to it, and then it makes me look like I'm ignoring you. Some of you watching this may have sent me a message or had a chat with me and you've had a message sat there for, I don't know, weeks, months or whatever, and I haven't responded to it. It's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because it's gone all the way down my messages and I've forgotten about it. And one of the other reasons, let me screenshot this, and one of the other reasons is I get messages like this that are asking for cars all the time. Or the opposite, and I'm getting messages of abuse. So it's better for me to ignore most of the messages and just get on with my work and carry on doing stuff and bringing content to you and answering questions on the channel rather than anywhere else. I hope that doesn't come across too bad that I don't want to talk to you, because that is definitely not the case. I just don't have time to talk to everyone and have a chat. And if you think you're one of them people that has been talking to me over the last year or so and you think I'm talking about you, it's not just you. I get a lot of messages. Don't feel bad. If I haven't replied to you for a while, I'm sorry. If I have replied to you for a while, then you're lucky, because I might not in the future. Cheers for watching. I will see you next time.